Okay, let's add some fractions with like denominators. What do I mean by like denominators? It means that my two fractions here have the same number on the bottom, the same number of total parts, and that actually makes it quite easy when they're already in the same denominator. One thing, though, that I do see students believe when they begin adding fractions is that they add the numerators straight across and then they also add the denominators straight across. So my answer would be 5/12. But that's actually not true. If I ended up with that answer, that would mean I was cutting up my total into more parts than I had to begin with, and I don't want to do that. And I'll show you what I mean, but I definitely want to keep my denominators the same. Here's my question. How can you use tools to add fractions? I'm going to show you 3 different tools that we can use to help us add fractions easily. Let's start with the circle fraction. Here's my circle fraction, and here's my 3/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and then I'm going to add 2 more 6, 1/6, 1/6. And if I add them all together, I end up with 5/6. So that is my answer. 3 plus 2 across the top, and then I keep my 6. I stayed in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did not end up with 12s. So that's how to use a circle fraction. Let's go on to another model here. Now let's try using fraction strips. So my whole is here in red. That represents my whole. And I'm just going to use that to compare my parts. My unit fraction is 1/6. And so let's start out with 3/6. Here's 1, 2, 3, 6. And you can see that it's actually already here, half of my 1 whole, right? Now I'm going to go ahead and add this 1/6 to it. Now how many 6 do I have? Well, let's count them. 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6. Altogether, I have 4 of them. So 3/6 plus another 1/6 equals 4/6. And so that's how you use fraction strips. You literally just compare them to 1 and you add them all up. And remember, notice I stayed in 6. I'm not in 12. I did not add the 6 plus the 6. I stayed in 6. Now let's use another tool. Let's use a number line. Let's add 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5. Here's my number line. It's broken up into 5 equal parts, and 1/5 is my unit fraction. Let's go ahead and try it. Here's 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5. Where did I end up on the number line? 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. So here it is. Perfect. So 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 3/5. Let's practice one more time. Let's do 4/8 plus 3/8. All right, let's start here at 0/8. Let's jump to 4/8. There we go. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. And let's jump another 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. There we go. 4/8 plus 3/8. And where did I end up on my number line? I ended up at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. Therefore, 4/8 plus 3/8 equals 7/8. Notice how I'm not in 16ths. I never broke up my number line anymore. I stayed in my unit fraction, which is eighths, and therefore 4/8 plus 3/8 equals 7/8. So that is 3 different tools you can use to add fractions. Your number lines, your fraction strips, and your circle fractions. Thanks for tuning in.